Hey guys, what is up? We are at episode
7.
And we're all the way into 2024. Like, what is this? Filming January 9th
of 24. So we are already 9 days into the new year.
Ah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, this next episode that we have rolling is going to be a topic. Actually, it was one of our purest forms of gaining this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we literally were driving and I was like, okay, so like, what do you want to do the next talk on? And we both didn't really know.
We
had
no idea.
Yeah. So we just started talking.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not. And we were just talking and we started, rehashing the services of church and rehashing what's going on and the upcoming events. And we started kind of getting excited in our spirits. And I was like, you know why this is exciting? Is because it's exciting to look into the future and be like, look what happened. Look what we have to look forward to.
Yes.
So that's what we're kind of going to launch off of. And let's go with it. Episode 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with Psalm 78, and we're going to start at verse 2. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter insightful sayings of old, which we have heard and known, what our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, but will tell the coming generation the praises of the Lord and his strength and the wonderful works that he has done. For he established a rule in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children, that the generation to come might know them, even the children who are not yet born, who will arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments. That is such a good chapter.
It is so powerful, too.
Yeah, that's, just so you know, that's like 2 through 7, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So when we were rehashing this, like we said, we were talking about what had happened in the past church services. And, you were even talking all the way back to your 50 nights you guys talk about.
Yes.
And we were like, wow, why is it so powerful when you're talking about something of the past? Why does your spirit wake up? And it's because scripture says you have to repeat these stories over and over. It says to the children, and even you declare it to the children not yet born.
Yes.
That says how strong that your spirit is what's carrying it, actually. It's not even your ears or your voice, it's your spirit.
Yes.
So, it says it that we have to tell them so that they won't forget the works and they'll remember what the Lord has done.
Yes. So, and what she said about, recounting the works of God to instill hope, when you stop sharing those things, it doesn't, the hope dissipates. There's no hope in it. There's no, this happened in the past, but what is about to come forward? It's the works and miracles that happened back, for me, back in 2007, it gives me hope and it fuels my spirit to, what could come in the future? Better things can come, better miracles, more I saw people get out of wheelchairs. It's but what more can happen,
Right. Or even just a vision of that. Because, it can go downhill if you don't talk about it. You're talking about seeing for the future and seeing this get better and, the exceedingly, the abundantly.
Yes.
But I think, too, if there's a break or there's a valley that people are just sitting in and is not going anywhere, you have to rehash these to remind them that, hey, do you remember what our God did? Do you remember that this is actually possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. And the other thing you were going to talk about is, you've seen these 50 nights. You saw these 50 nights where people... That pool of Bethesda they talk about, where kids, just swirling around in the spirit, just moving miracles after miracles. And since you saw these miracles, I know that you said that you were people tried to talk you out of it.
Yes. If you don't know, the 50 nights happened back in, I think, about 2008, and I was about 5 years old. And so I didn't see most of the things, but I vividly remember in my mind of this woman getting out of a wheelchair and who had couldn't raise her hands, and I remember standing there and seeing all those teenagers lined up and just her with her hands raised. And people tried to tell me that that wasn't real. Like, they tried to say, oh, you were 5, so it was just your imagination. And people tried to tell me, oh, it would have been in a newspaper if it was that good. What I want to tell you is, don't let anybody try to talk you out of what you saw. Yeah. Because they will. I've had it happen to me since I could talk about it. Because I would talk about it in elementary school. I was like, hey guys, I saw a woman get out of the wheelchair. My friends would be like, no, you didn't. No, like, that doesn't exist. And so don't let anybody stifle what you saw. Don't let anybody be like, oh, that didn't happen. Because it will make you start to question it and be like, oh, well, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe I was just 5 years old and I just
question
had
yourself then.
a very just high imagination. But nobody, like, that just marked my memory. Yeah. And don't let anybody try to talk you out of it.
Yeah, don't let anybody try to talk you out of it. And on that as well, if you're gonna sit with this in yourself, don't let yourself talk you out of it, but also get around people that either saw that happen or believe your message. Because you have to surround yourself and protect that vision. You have to protect that. So like it says in scripture, you can tell it. You got to have a vision runner for that as well. You got to be able to have someone who's like, yeah, I remember that. And you do. You have your family that was all with you there. That's why, I think it's so important. You guys almost every Sunday, we have some amazing story that's told. Why? To build yourself up. To have that vision of, hey, we're going to have this happen again and greater, like you said.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to close with a definition because, like we were talking about, we're trying to get you to build this vision. What is your vision? What is your miracle that you saw happen? Or what is your miracle that you've read? Whether it's in, the amazing miracles we've heard, John Two Lakes, Smith Wigglesworth, Lester Sumrall, all those amazing, miracles, like insane stuff. People getting out of their caskets, rising from the dead was like, oh, of course, like no big deal, but we're trying to see this happen again because why? For revival. Yes. We're trying to see a change. And so we're going to read the definition of revival, and this will be out of the 1828 Webster's. And revival is return, recall, from a state of languor as the revival of spirits, or to return or call from a state of neglect, oblivion, obscurity, or depression, something that is turning. We're trying to see something turn, something shift here. So this is what we're saying. I think this is what the Lord put on our hearts for this episode, is we just want to see something move.
Yes, and remember, revival starts with you. It is a big, it can be a big service, but revival also starts with you. And
it starts in your
living
rooms.
Yes, in your kitchen, your living rooms, your car.
In the homes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, we love you guys. Thanks for sticking around for this episode, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
All right, bye.